Hi, I'm Jay and welcome to this nature walk video. I'm here at Bempton Cliffs, but I'm not here to look at the birds. There are still some left. I've seen some gannets and some crows, a couple of jackdaws, but the main focus of this video is to go for a nature walk from Bempton, where I am now, down the coast of Bridlington. I won't be using a tripod today. My wife bought me this handle off Wish, and what you do is you screw that into your bottom of your camera, hold it like a bat or a gun, and film that way. So all the footage you're going to see after this short intro is going to be from that. I hope you enjoy this video. Let's get going down the coast. The majority of the cliffs are empty at this time of year, but as I said in the intro, there are still some birds here, mainly gannets. That's because the juveniles are not quite ready to leave the nesting site and take the plunge into the big blue. Other birds are resident year-round, like jackdaw and herring gull. I didn't see any other birds, so started along the path and left the main reserve area. A short distance from the main area were some farmers' fields, where many a sheep were grazing. Farmers' fields would be a common sight along the route. It was also along here that I came across this warning sign about the dangers of the cliffs. I heeded the warning and was extra careful, as some of the paths were a little too close to the edge for my liking. It wasn't long before I reached Thornwick Bay. I noticed from this vantage point that it looked like a tortoise had been carved from the chalk cliffs. Can you see it? It was a beautiful stretch of coast, but being a holiday park, it was bustling with people. So I quickly carried on past this area and onto the Flamborough Cliffs Nature Reserve, where I got this rubbish clip of a stone chat. The camera on occasion would jolt upwards and downwards when at full zoom. Not sure why this happens. It never happens with a tripod, only when it's handheld. The walk had many sets of steps going up and down the cliff sides. My legs definitely felt it by the end of the day. At the top of these particular steps, I saw this large bull in the distance on a farmer's field. Along this nature reserve are boards that show what can be seen at the reserve, along with a little information about them too. There are also several posts where you can take photos of sections of the coastline by placing your phone in the slit at the top of the post. What do you think of this particular view? Not bad at all, is it? It was a warm day, and along the paths were many dragonflies, just about all of them being common darters. Due to coastal erosion, paths I had walked a mere 5 years ago are now closed, with new pathways further back from the cliffs. As I neared Flamborough Lighthouse, I came across the first of the few pillboxes that are still on the cliff tops. Many, like these photos from a few years ago, have fallen off the cliffs and onto the beach below. These were placed here in the Second World War in case of a potential enemy invasion. Flamborough Lighthouse was rammed with people, so I quickly moved on towards the fog signal station, where I could hear the sound of many, many birds. Unfortunately though, due to a mistake on my part, my audio recorder didn't pick up any audio, so I didn't get any recordings of the immense noise being made by what must have been over 100 starlings. Just past the station, people had gathered along the cliff top to get a look at some of the grey seals that were chilling out near the water. This one certainly seemed to be enjoying itself. At Flamborough's popular drinking dinosaur, more seals were enjoying the glorious sunshine. Named the drinking dinosaur because at high tide from certain angles, this rock formation looks like a dinosaur, drinking. As I observed the seals, I kept hearing the unmistakable sound of grasshoppers. So using the macro function on the bridge camera, I managed to get a couple of clips of them. Onward I went, and very shortly after the grasshoppers got a clip of this darter, which was either a female or juvenile. I'm not really sure. And in the sky, a few hundred yards away, a female kestrel was on the hunt. These birds have a tendency to fly off when I get within a certain distance of them. But this one seemingly wasn't fazed at all, and I managed to get pretty much underneath it and got a few photos with the bridge camera. They are not pro standard images, but the bridge camera has a decent zoom on it, which allows me to get pretty close to what I want to film or photograph. After the kestrel encounter, I was met with another close pathway. I actually photographed this walkway from the other side 5 years ago, when I came here to test out my then new DSLR. Not far past this blocked pathway, a sculpture stood at a fork in the path. It had several carvings on it, but the plaque that had the info about it had been damaged enough to make it unreadable. It was here I also caught a glimpse of this speckled wood butterfly. Poppies were also around this area, as well as this pillbox, which was the only one that had not had the entrance bricked up. But a quick glance inside was enough for me to turn back as the floor was covered in litter. Ten minutes later, I arrived at Danes Dyke, but I didn't explore it, as it was not on my route. I am going there early November, but I'm not sure I'll be making a video on it, as my motivation to make videos is ebbing away. That's mainly down to the fact that nearly all of my recent videos don't reach 50 views, which equates to about 10% of my subscriber count. The people that do watch my content, I appreciate it very much. But all the hours filming, editing, writing to put these videos together just doesn't seem a worthwhile use of my time anymore. At present, I'd rather just watch other content creators and go on these walks just for the enjoyment of it, without having to lug around gear all day. I may change my mind in the future, but that's how I feel at this present time. Anyways, enough about that, and let's get back to the remainder of the walk. After passing Danes Dyke, I looked back at the landscape I'd walked, and it was a lovely view from this section of clifftop I was stood on. A short distance along from there, a flock of what looked like swifts were darting about all over the place. After enjoying watching these birds for a bit, I walked on towards Sewerby Hall, which is where I decided to end the walk due to the vast number of people between there and Bridlington Beach. I hope you enjoyed the video. I may or may not continue making videos. It's something I'll have to ponder over for a while. Thanks for watching. Ciao.